Hello, everyone. Today it's Tuesday, as always. Our Sparkle Hour. Well, it actually has changed now into Sparkles Hour with Chris and Kellyanne because now everybody meets Sparkle. There is Sparkle. Little Dalmatian puppy new. And today is our guest, Lisa Wilber, the amazing Lisa Wilber. Number 5 in the Avon Cosmetics industry, and that worldwide, which is amazing. And I know Bob, we know each other from the Success Alliance, always says, well, it used to be the number 4, is now the number 4. Who gives a bleeding? Whatever. You're the number 5, you're number 4. You are one of the top performers, and that worldwide is quite an achievement. Lisa, welcome. And hope you're doing good.
Yes, fabulous.
Fabulous, as always. And just before we go in our conversation tonight, here's the little jingle to get everybody in the right mood, as always. It's fascinating. She's sitting in front of the desk and watching the clip. It's so fascinating. Yes. And you saw yesterday on Facebook, she was watching me. I was watching 101 Dalmatian with her, and she literally sat there and watched it. It's so funny. She actually watches TV. And I just posted then the picture with her sitting on the sofa and watching TV in Dalmatian, the 101 Dalmatian on the background. And I said, we're watching 101 just for educational purposes.
Oh, I love Sparkle.
Oh, yeah, she's a bundle of joy, but she keeps me on my toes, I tell you that. Once again, Lisa, welcome. We have already the first comments, and I think that some people from you probably, if you're people band.
Oh, that's Eileen. I know Eileen. Yes.
Hi, Eileen. And then we do have
Eunice.
Yes, Eunice. Hello. Great for joining us. Lisa, I am stoked to have you today as our guest, and I've been waiting for so long. I was already guest on your show, and how much you amazed me on your show already, because, and especially as well, what you did afterwards, and I want to talk about that as well, which is the way how you send out your card afterwards and the little gift, which I think is, we send out as well a little gift. You're going to get one from me as well, but nice. It's like, it's just for me, it's one of these things where I say, this is how you connect with people. Now, tell me a bit about yourself. Well, we know each other from the Go-Giver Alliance, Success Alliance, but yes, and I said, you was Avon. That's only one little detail of Lisa, actually.
Well, and the card and gift thing, I've been doing that service for like 12 years, the send out card service. But to me, I try to put myself in the other person's shoes, and I try to make it that if you enter my orbit, if you enter my little world here, I want it to be a positive experience. So that's not just being on my show, but like the one I did this morning was one of my kids' teachers.
Yeah.
The kid really likes the teacher. So I asked the teacher if it was okay if I sent her a card. She gave me her address, and I sent her a holiday card. And then I looked her up on the computer to make sure I knew when her birthday was, and she's going to get a birthday card from us. I just want to make sure if someone's in my universe that I have a positive experience dealing with us. Does that make sense?
And you bring a very interesting point that I wanted to address anyway, but you addressed it already, because I was the other day with 2 other Go-Giver Alliance Success member in the ticker FICA call with oh God, Kathy. I just lost for a second the name. With Kathy together, and we had this conversation because I said, and I was talking about you, and I said how you do that, and then the 2 guys that were sitting there with me in the call, and I said, well, we have tried the card thing that as an endless referrals, it is actually explained how to do it, and and they said, well, we had actually really negative comments. People like say, why do you send me a card? And we're really strange answers. And they said, like, almost like the thing. And you bring a very good point, because that's something that I remarked on your call. You said you don't ask yourself, I mean, more the question, what should I get out of it, actually, or is it a new business relation, whatever. You ask yourself, would they like a card? Number one. And two, you said it, I ask for permission. And I think that is the key element here, is like, would you like a card, and do I have permission to send you a card? Because yes, when a card comes unsolicited, you might take it positive, but some people might say, why are you sending me a card?
I have sent unsolicited cards, but if they got feedback, they might have called and said, did you like the card I sent? I don't ever do that, because to me, that almost is like I'm asking for business.
There it's good.
So it might have been that they went back and tried to say something about it. I send them out and just send them out, and I don't circle back or anything like that and say, what did you think of that card? But I actually haven't had, I don't think, any negative, and I send out hundreds per month, so birthday cards in particular, and I haven't had anybody say, keep your birthday card, I do not want you celebrating my day.
This is kind of funny. I don't do it with cards. Well, we do it after the show. We send you a little gift as well, and a card. But I do it. I actually do, and that's what I said at the beginning of the year. I decided to go through my LinkedIn, and everybody on my LinkedIn, I made a commitment that I will reach out to every single person and invite them to a 2-hour coaching session. And not even asking, I'm not even making a proposal at the end. I actually really, there's no proposal. I want to listen, learn more about them, who they are, what is successful on, and what they're struggling with, and maybe in one of the struggles I can help them as a coach. And I just go into that one, and genuinely I want to know more about these people, because we all have these massive networks. But what is a network connection? See, very easy. Connect. Yeah, we're clicking this connect button. But at the end of the day, what is the value of that connection if we don't give any value to them at all? It's just another number on LinkedIn, wherever it is, on Facebook and everything. So I do believe that we really need to get into this personalized connection. And I think you do that really brilliant. For you, that the medium is the card, which is great. For me, it is really this 2-hour coaching call where I say, I'll coach you, and there's no strings attached to it. I mean, I sometimes people say, oh, that's really great. And I said, well, would you know somebody else, or would you know somebody that could benefit from coaching? Maybe sometimes, a lot of times they say, yeah, me, which is great. Then we can talk about, would you be interested in going further? But it's not even my intention in this entire call. I really want to help them, and that's what I think. And I think I get more referrals out of that than anything else. I don't need to do advertisement. I don't need to do Facebook ads. And I mean, I love, and I want to touch to it because some of our viewers don't know really, and I think really it's really interesting. The way how I wrote it today, I think, from living in a trailer park, and I've watched the video from living in a trailer park to become number 4 Avon worldwide. And I think you said in this video, it was just one single decision. It was this decision moment where I said, I'm not going to live like this.
It was that is true. But I mean, it was at the time, it wasn't like I said, I'm going to be rich and famous. I'm going to decide to change my destiny. It was more like I couldn't get another job, and I decided, well, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to have to be all in, because I'm never going to know whether this is going to work unless I really am all in for, and not judge it. Because a lot of people get into stuff and go, well, if it doesn't work in 6 months or a year, I'm out. And I always think of it more like when my kid was a baby and I needed to teach the kid how to walk, I couldn't say, oh, you know what? You're not picking this walking thing up right off, so go ahead and crawl from now on. You just have to keep at it. You just have to keep at it. And that's what I was thinking more my business was like. But and then plus, once you get a taste of working for yourself, I'm unemployable, really. I unemployable. No one would
and
willingly hire me, I don't think.
but you see, I mean, obviously, but still, you actually, as I said, and I think that is a big problem. I mean, we call like network marketing or network sales, which a lot of people, they expect to be multimillionaire within 6 days, literally. Like, okay,
Right.
fine. And then I think, I mean, I used to do Beachbody as a coach, right? So for me, it was not even about the product itself, because I looked at what was the solution they needed, and I was not selling the product. The product is the side point of it. I was actually solving their problem, and so solving them a solution. And I think that's what we were selling. And I think a lot of people forget about that. They're so hooked onto the actual physical product, while they completely forget what does it do for that one. I don't. That's the first time she barked, by the way. She found something in the bathroom, and I don't know what she's afraid of it.
There's bound to be barking going on here, so
It's like in 2 minutes they're gonna bark. Like, oh, I know what it is. I know what she found. She found something in the toilet bowl.
Oh,
You know these air fresheners in the toilet bowl.
oh,
yes, she pulled it out. This is really funny.
Oh, that's funny.
This is going to be a funny show, I tell you, that was her. Yeah, so obviously I think it is just so important to look at what you're doing. It is not the product, it's the person, and a lot of people forget the actual person that's behind there.
Well, and I know what moment you're referring to. It's when I was chasing the electric man again, because you could pay cash at the pole.
Yes.
That was it. Yeah. And he looked at me like I was trailer trash, and I just didn't want that to be my life. And there's nothing wrong with living in a trailer, but I didn't grow up as a little kid going, "Ooh, I hope I get to live in a trailer." So I just didn't. And what's funny is I somehow convinced myself that it was a quirk of fate that I was there too. I went, you know what, this is wrong. Somehow I got put here when I was meant to get put like in the rich people's land. I got stuck over here by mistake. So my job is to get from here over to here. I convinced myself, but it just seemed so wrong that I was getting judged for being poor.
Yeah.
And it was my own fault. That was the hard pill to swallow. Where I was living and what I was living like was decisions that I made prior to that brought me right there where I was. And until I was willing to admit that, it wasn't going to change. I had to admit that I got myself in that spot. I used to think it was the job I got laid off of, the economy, my crazy neighbors. I used to blame everything. And then when I realized it was me, it was sobering, to say the least. But that's when everything changed, is when I decided everything I decide is going to put me somewhere. So I better make better decisions if I don't want to stay down here from now on. So.
And I think that is the key thing with anything in life. If you need to look at yourself first of all and do what do you want and what you do want. And I find it very funny when I coach clients sometimes that I ask them, is that, so what would you like? Well, I want $1 million. And I'm like asking them, so why do you want $1 million? Well, yeah, I might have a better life. I said, okay, well, but why do you have a better life then? Well, and then you go that there's this zip moment where nothing comes anymore. They don't even know what. They can tell you pretty much as well. Very hard time people have to say like what they don't want, because when you ask them then what you do not want anymore, and they go like, yeah, well, I don't want to live here anymore. That's okay, but they really don't have the core understanding what they don't want and what they want. And I think it all starts with looking at yourself. These questions are there, but they don't even ask themselves these questions, which I find is really interesting. So every time when I go in a new coaching contract, I say that within one coaching session, I pretty much tell them, you're not asking the right questions, are you? That's what coaching is about anyway. I'm not going to tell you what you have to do. I'm telling you what you should ask yourself, what you want to do. And that's mostly this big moment. I'm sure you have said there many times during your career, asking yourself, well, what do I want and why do I want it? And you had a very fixed goal for it. As you said, there was this Electric Man situation where you said, this is not going to happen again. I'm not going to be, he almost ran away and you said, nope, that is not going to happen. I'm not going to chase him like a dog again, right? This is it. I'm done with it. I want to get out of the situation.
And, you know, I never was unclear on what I wanted from early on. I mean, even when I bought that trailer, I told everybody it was a temporary thing. I'm only going here until I can afford the house. And I had pictures of houses all cut out and everything. So, I mean, I always knew I wanted something better than that. I just didn't always know how I was going to get it. You know, it's funny. What ended up being the tipping point in that whole thing was, I don't know if you've heard Earl Nightingale's thing, Lead the Field. He's got that story about Acres of Diamonds. Well, I'm sitting there being an Avon rep in the trailer park, knowing that that's not my life, that I need to be, you know, somewhere else if I'm going to make this happen. And he was talking to the gas station story where the guy could have lived and died with a little station, but he made the big thing, right? So I thought to myself, well, maybe Avon is the thing. Maybe I'm thinking I have to do something else to get rich here. Maybe I don't. Maybe it is Avon. Maybe I better look at this first because he's saying it worked for the gas station guy. And you know what? Sure enough, it was Avon. I didn't have to change my job or my industry. I was actually doing the thing I could make work out. So that really helped me, I think.
We get another comment here. Just 1 second. Let me just throw in the comment here. That is
Linda. I know Linda. Hi, Linda. He's going to check to see if the dog's eating.
Because we know what she's eating. She's eating these toilet air freshener stones right now, and I'm not really, that's not really healthy, is it?
Yeah, blue.
When she starts bubbling, then we have a problem. She doesn't like that now that she's forced with me, but she's gonna say no with me. That's all right.
Pee and blue outside. Pee and blue.
Exactly. I was like, I can't see. This is just teaches you a lesson again. Close the toilet bowl door. And I was like, what the hell is she coming up with now? She's like, little rat.
I tell you, I didn't get a puppy for a reason. My dog was 2. I said nothing younger than 2.
Well,
and sadly, the other thing I asked for was I didn't want the dog to get bigger. This dog's not going to get bigger than about 50, 60 pounds because I know dogs don't last forever. What are they, 10, 12?
Yeah,
sometimes
10, 12.
longer than that years. And I'm already knocking on 60's door. So at 70, am I going to be able to pick the dog up to go to the vet and stuff? So that's why I didn't want a 150-pound dog. So I got a dog that I thought I could manage. Yeah, my kid wanted a Great Dane. Yeah, and that's not happening.
And they're lovely. The Great Danes are lovely dogs, and they're so quiet dogs as well.
They're big. They're like
but they're so graceful and so quiet. Actually, it's kind of funny.
No, that's awful. But when something medically goes wrong, you gotta be able to pick that dog up.
Yeah, well, yes, they like. I tell you, she is gonna be like, probably. Now I think she's about 15 pounds right now. Which is 13 weeks. Yes, here you go. She's not happy. I'm holding her now. But to be very honest, she's gonna be, I think they're around 45 to 50 pounds when she's grown up, and then she's gonna be big. But the funny thing is with these Dalmatians, as attached they are, she's sitting on me and lying on me. But she will, as well, at 50 pounds, she will still think that she needs to lie on me because she still thinks she's this little puppy that she used to be today. It's kind of funny how they are. As I said, I had 6 of them, and they all like this. Like my male one, he was like almost 80 pounds. And he was really big boy, and he was lying on me on the sofa, and I'm like, "Are you for real?" You're not a lap dog. You're not a lap dog anymore. But now coming back to that point, so off you went. You got rid of the husband. I
released him. I released him.
You released him. I love that word. You released him off duty.
Yeah, see, no, you know what? I don't I said this the other day too. I don't want you to think he's a bad person because he's
Oh
not.
no, no, no.
He's a smart man and a nice man. I just was very well aware that we were headed in two different directions, and I blame myself for not being clear on where I wanted to go because I am a front of the plane, back of the car type of gal, and
Yeah,
he wants to be Grizzly Adams. I don't know if you know what Grizzly Adams is,
I
but
do.
it's
Yes.
right, mountain man that wants to kill something before he eats it. That is
Yeah.
never going to be something that I want to do.
Yeah.
And when we were in the trailer park, I actually thought we were living like that because we had to. So I was working diligently to earn money so we wouldn't have to. I didn't realize that was a lifestyle choice for him.
Yeah.
That's what he wanted. He wants to live where you're cooking your food on the wood stove and stuff. And
Yeah.
that is never going to be something that I'm interested in. But either I didn't make that clear or I didn't realize that was a lifestyle choice for him. But once I did, I needed to release him so he could go find Mrs. Grizzly Adams.
Right. And that,
But he's
that
a
is
smart guy.
that is good. So yeah, and I you know, and I say, you know, Lisa, you actually, what I would really appreciate about you is, I mean, I've listened to you so many times now when you talk. I mean, obviously, Rob always brings up this story of your van, where you just said, how is the best? Now you got into the business with Avon. Here you go. You get a little starter kit and said, here you go. We're gonna start now selling lipsticks. Actually, what am I gonna do? And in one of the, as I said, I watched the documentary that they did on you actually, and I thought it was really interesting, where you just then suddenly came with your van and the lipstick lady on it and the big Avon sign on top of the lipstick.
Oh, yeah.
And I think,
I've got him here. I think isn't that I was driving the in that video I was driving this one, I think.
there you go. Yes,
Yeah.
that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not my first one. Do you know what a Yugo is?
Yeah. Well,
A Yugo, they were
oh yeah,
they,
right.
yeah, these brand new were $39.99, $3,999 US. And that's at the trailer park.
All
And this
right.
was not the first one that I lettered, but one of the first. And those
Yeah.
are just stick-on letters I bought at the office supply.
All right.
And this is the light up pizza sign. I saw a pizza guy in the next town over with one of these that said pizza, and I asked him where he bought it because I wanted to buy one, and he sold me that one.
Oh
He said
wow.
he said it made a lot of noise. He didn't like it, but I'm like, I'm driving a Yugo, I won't hear it, right? So I strapped it on the top. I took the vinyl letters off and put my own on,
All
and
right.
that lit up. And in my town, we still to this day don't have pizza delivery or taxis, so it stands out because of that.
Yes.
But this was the first one I did, and then we went to the van. I did the van,
Oh wow.
and this was just a van I bought on the side of the road.
All right.
And from there, we went to the one that you saw the movie on, and then and then I had my first car wrap, which this one I saw when I was on an Avon trip out to Las Vegas. I
And
saw
you were telling
somebody
me
driving a PT Cruiser with a Coke wrap on it, and I came back and did this wrap on the
this
car.
wrap.
And when I did this back then, they didn't have a sign shop on every corner. They had to come down from Canada to do this, and it was really expensive, but it was so recognizable, though. I love that.
Yeah.
Even now, the one that I have right now, this van.
That one you have right now. Isn't that the one with the lipsticks? Yes, exactly. I
Yeah,
saw
on the back window is the lipstick.
yeah.
When I do the wiper, that's a lipstick puts on the lipstick, right?
All right. You see, and this is where I mean, this is so recognizable. I mean, nobody, as you said, even in the years when you started it, obviously that was just already out of the ordinary, and now even now with the lipstick on that one, you always keep going forward. You don't stop there. You always say like, okay, fine, now they have got used to that one, I could actually do something else, and just to be again in the word of the people. So I think it's really important to just look at that and say, well, there's something else to be done next to go forward. And I think that you're doing that brilliantly. You just really look what you would actually get attracted to. And I think that's what you said, because you wanted to have something like that for yourself. You thought, like, that's really a great idea. And I think that's better than doing advertisement and everything. She is just she's gonna be hell today, so I tell you that.
I'm always surprised how many people tell me that they wouldn't do that because they're embarrassed, and I'm like, you know what's embarrassing? Chasing the electric man because I can't afford the bill. This is just a sign on my car.
Yes.
That to me, that's not embarrassing. No, I mean, I do have people that kid me about it, but I don't care because it's my business. What I need to do to be in business is get a lot of people to know what I do, and this is just one easy, great way to do it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't embarrass me at all. I do get some ribbon, but I don't care.
Yeah.
Mostly I get customers. Now I have had people, it's been a little weird sometimes, like blink their lights and tell me to pull over, and I'll be thinking, oh, I'm going to get in trouble because I'm not exactly the world's best driver. And then I roll down the window and they're like, do you have any Avon in there? So it's usually they want something Avon from me. And I forget sometimes that I have the big giant sign on my car. After you drive around with it so much, it's just you forget it.
And again, you made a really good point about it. Why would you be embarrassed about your business? And that's what I'm like. I wouldn't get that as well. It's like really, really silly. You know, as I say, I could be.
Spouses that don't want you to have a sign confuse me too. My last ex-husband, don't judge. When I went to get one of the cars done, right? He said, "I really wish you wouldn't put a sign on the car." But it was my car. I bought it
Yeah.
and paid for it with my money, not his money. So I said, "No, I think you're confused. When I said I'm putting a sign on the car, that actually was a bulletin, not a survey." So I wasn't looking for a voting situation when it comes. It's a miracle that I've ever been married, isn't it really? But no, to me, a business decision, I didn't understand. As long as I'm making money and not costing him money, I didn't understand how he had a vote in that. But needless to say, I went ahead and did it, and it's worked out really, really well. And actually, it cut down on him borrowing it because I don't like other people borrowing my car. To this day, I don't like other people drive my car, and it cuts down on that quite a bit. No one wants to borrow my car. No, my kid doesn't want to borrow the car. It's like,
It's like,
yeah.
but hey, this is good. I think it's all about authenticity. And I say you were going to say like this, why you would be embarrassed? Well, I could embarrass with her jumping up and down right now. I'm not, because she's part of me, right? She's part of my family, so I have to take care of her, unfortunately. Huh?
She's so cute.
Yeah,
She's so
she is. Now she's calmed down a bit. She's not happy that I have her now, because normally I could not get her off my lap, but then obviously when she needs to be quiet, she's exactly the opposite. Exactly for that one.
We usually
But
have a bunch of barking here. This is a miracle. Somebody tries to deliver something, we're having a whole new story here. Eileen said she wants to wrap her truck. That's awesome.
And I think that is absolutely awesome, because you see, you inspiring other people, and that is what an exceptional leader. And I mean, you are in the top of the leaderboard, Avon. There's no question about it. This is what an exceptional leader does. It inspires other people, and I think you're doing that so humbly and so amazingly. I think I'm always surprised. No, not surprised. I'm not surprised, actually, because I have gotten to know you now for a while already, and I see how you see things and why it is important to lead your team. You're very strong in leading your team. I'm in one of your Facebook groups, and I can see you always inspire them to go forward. And I think that is what it's all about, being a leader. It's just like, yes, you have reached your goal. I'm sure you have. I mean, you could become number one. Yes, that might be a goal for you personally. but I don't even think it's the number on the leaderboard. It's the way how.
Yeah, it was at one time. Number one would have been something that really floated my boat. Now it's more the profitableness of my business as a whole and the longevity of my business. So to me, it changed some. I do a lot of side hustles and stuff, and I look at my business as all of that stuff. So being number one in a certain company, um, Avon is definitely my main gig, but I do side hustles. So
Yeah.
I don't necessarily want to be number one. What I want is the longevity to be able to work by myself and to earn more profit than I did last year.
Yeah.
And it's profit based, not gross sales base.
Yeah.
Because to me that somebody can come in, and I've seen people do this. They'll either wholesale all the stuff so that they get to the top of the leaderboard, but they didn't actually make any money doing it. And to me, that's not helpful. To me, I want to run a genuine business where I'm making a decent profit because I worked it the right way. And yeah, those things matter to me more than the number next to my name anymore.
And at the same time, you help your team along the way to, and that I think that is one of the things. But obviously, you have your targets that you set yourself, and that's everybody should have their targets. It's we're not in business for just pleasure. Unfortunately, actually, as well. That there might be now the question, Lisa, where you said, okay, I'm profit orientated here. How do you justify that with you being a go-giver? That how people would go like say, oh yeah, well, you're very profit orientated, so you're not really. How do you bring these two notions together?
Those things do go together though, because and it seems like it's not that I don't think about making a profit, it's that I don't go into a relationship thinking they're going to make me the profit. To me, I'm just building relationships. The profit seems to take care of itself. And what I mean by profit is what activity that I'm doing needs to have a margin where you earn money, and I need to be smart about what I'm selling and what I'm paying, those kind of things, or what my expenses are. I need to hold my expenses. I'm thinking of it that way. I'm not thinking of, when I look at somebody, I don't think of them as a prospect anymore. That is more of a go-giver lens that I'm looking through. I'm just actually, like when I joined the Go-Giver Alliance last year, I knew if I wanted my business to get bigger, that I needed to meet new people. And I don't mean I need to sign up new people, I need to sell to new people. Generally, those things follow. If I just expose myself doesn't sound right. if I right, if I interact with a whole bunch of new people on just a interaction way, people find out what I do, whether I tell them or not. I don't actively go out try to sell to people. They just, if they're in my world and we have some connection, I generally do get more business from it. So all I'm trying to do is meet new people, meet more people and new people. And the other stuff seems to work out as long as I keep handles on my expenses, doing the right thing of what I'm spending. So that's what I mean by profitable. I don't look at people as whether it's going to be profitable. I don't just like this does drive me crazy about the card thing, is that I have people that also do the send out cards with me, and they'll be like, I sent out 10 cards and that person didn't buy anything. I think you have to release yourself from that, because I send cards because I think the person will like to get a card. I think you got to stop there and not filter everything through what's going to profit you. Like, I'm only going to send them 3 cards unless they buy something. If they don't buy something, I'm not sending them anything else. See, and I don't look at it that way anymore. I think, ooh, look at that pretty picture of Chris's dog on Facebook. I'm going to send him a postcard of him and his dog. It's more like I don't think anything about the rest of it anymore.
No,
and it works itself out. It works itself out.
And that is exactly that. That's why I asked you, because I knew what you were going to answer, but I wanted to see other people to hear what to say. Because the people, when we talk about the Success Alliance, and I know Bob, okay, yeah, hello. She's yawning. Huh? You're a little rascal. No, but how Bob always says, when he explains the Go-Giver, and when they say, oh yeah, well, but this is basically a blueprint for bankruptcy, which then he goes with the accountant and he talks about the accountant story. You go to the accountant, you give the paperwork, and you will pay her $1,000, but she will give you a tax, or make sure you get a tax return of $5,000. So she has given you way more value than you actually paid for it. And I think that is where people get it all wrong, actually. And as you said, you're growing your team. Obviously, being up in the leaderboard, you do have residual income from your team as well. And the better your team does, the better you do. And I think that is very, very, I'll say, I'm just trying to put a comment right now. So, and I think this is really great. But as you said, what I think is really one of the things people get always wrong, when they do something and they say, oh, I did my Go-Giver thing, like you said, I send a postcard, and they don't get the business. This is not being a Go-Giver. And that is where you have to understand that's the difference. You're expecting, you're sending the card to have something in return. I believe every conversation, every coaching call I do, these 2-hour discovery, life-changing coaching calls I do with these people, I don't wait for a client there. I never go in it that way. I never see it that way. And if it's just like I just did now with one of the, I can say his name is Derek. I just had this 2-hour coaching call, and at the coaching call, I said, so here is my proposal. So he was with pen and paper. I really liked how it went. He was with pen and paper, starting to write down what I'm going to propose to him. And I said, I'm going to offer you 2 months of coaching for free. And then he got really quiet. He looked up and he said, what? And I said, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to give you 2 months of coaching now for free, 4 sessions each month, so 8 sessions. And let's see if we can fix some of your problems that you have there. And I said, at the end of the 2 months, you want to stay with me as a coach, then we can talk about what I can offer you on a long-term coaching. But even if you don't, I know as a matter of fact, if I'm solving some of his problems there as a coach, and even if he doesn't take me as a coach afterwards, if anybody around him will say, oh, I think I really need a coach here, whatever, who is he going to refer? This is the point. It's like, and I trust in that. I trust in this coming back to me. It comes from the weirdest places, but it does come that way. And I think that's why you detach from that.
Were you on the, like they had the Success Alliance had a networking night. I think it was a week and a half ago. It was funny because it was a whole bunch of new people that aren't in the alliance yet that just are getting in. So
yes, I was there.
Yeah. Wasn't it funny though that in the comments people were pitching? And I was surprised because I'm thinking, oh, they're new. Because because you don't need to do that. It's not. You're going to end up finding out what each other does when you're interacting with them in smaller groups, I think, or one-on-one, or other ways. You don't need to put your little pitch in the comment. I was surprised, and I think that is generally in life what people are doing too, is they feel the need to tell people what they do to try to get them to, they're thinking they're doing the right thing being a salesperson when they would be better served just being a person and seeing if they could provide value to the other person somehow, I think. You know what I mean by saying that?
Eileen puts it really nice. Relationship. And that's what it's all about. It's just about that. It's like, as I say, I have had people, I had a coaching, life-changing coaching experience with them for 2 hours, 2-3 years ago. And they didn't become my client then. But little did I know that 2 years later, they knocked at my door and said, I really do need some coaching right now. And that's great. And as I said, but I always trusted that at one stage, something is going to come out of it. And even I learned from every coaching call, and I say, I'm not that arrogant as a coach, from every C-level executive that I'm coaching, I actually learn from them on a daily basis. They have visions, they have ideas, and they
Yeah.
make me reflect. So I sit in a coaching call and go like, huh, interesting. I haven't seen it from that point. But it teaches me as well. So actually they're giving back to me either way. It's just, as I said, the relationship is more important than anything else. But it's quite funny that you actually noticed that as well with the chat with the pictures, where I thought like,
I know Bob doesn't even like that word, but that's what it was. They were
yes, it was. And I know
right.
Bob doesn't like series. Oh yeah, you were good. You remind me. He doesn't like the word pitch at all. And I think sometimes, the word is as well used in the wrong way. Unfortunately, what we have to be honest here, you can't even blame these people for doing this, because every marketing book you get on Amazon is teaching you exactly that. So when you are in an opportunity, please provide your services, or tell what your services are, and try to pitch. They use the word pitch actually very well. Try to pitch at every occasion. So basically, every good sales or marketing book, good, in that's what I'm saying, good, is telling you to do that. Now, when you say to them, do it counterproductive, as we do in the Go-Giver, for them initially counterproductive in the Go-Giver Success Alliance, or as a Go-Giver, you don't get it in the beginning, and it takes a while before you understand the value behind this framework already. With this, with
Well, a lot of companies, I know, I've gone to training even in Avon and in other companies, and they make it like, now I'm an introvert and I was never going to be a door knocker. And they're always like, you need to just toughen up and do it. But I'm like, there's half the population out there that's like me. They just will quit. I mean, this is direct sales, the volunteer army. They're just not going to do it. So you're almost better to find other ways. I mean, that's how I want to say stumbled into doing it this way, but to me, this way made more sense,
yes,
because when you build relationships, you get more referrals. You people want to help you do things. One of the ways that having relationships with my customers has been so effective is when I first went for a big trip, I had to sell a whole bunch that I'd never sold before. I sold as much in 3 weeks as I did before that in a year. I all of a sudden had to sell a bunch to go on that first trip.
yes,
And I had a good relationship with the customers. So they all wanted to help me get it. They were excited for me. And when I was on the trip, I bought postcards and sent every single one of them a handwritten postcard. And that was back in what, 80, 88 or something, 89. That was way back.
you're
And
not that old, Lisa. Come on.
I know I was a wee child. Yeah, I was just a little child. But I mean, I think that helps when you have relationships with everybody. It just helps a lot of ways in your business, but you can't have expectations of what they're going to do, I don't think. You know
So
what I mean?
what would the Lisa today say if, say, I mean, let's say me, I'll come to Lisa and I say, I really like the products of Avon. I think I could do that. What would be your advice?
I think it wouldn't be advice. I think I would just be asking a lot of questions, because I need to gauge, are you thinking you want to do this as a side hustle, or you just want to buy your own stuff, or are you thinking you want to build an empire? I mean, how we go about it is going to make a difference by what you want. So me now, I think I ask more questions. Even customers, if a customer wants to buy from me,
Yeah.
it's my job is a question asker more than a sell you something person. If I don't get the questions asked or have enough questions, then I'm showing you something you had no interest in just because I didn't ask enough questions. And that's true if I'm signing someone up for the business. If I don't ask enough questions, I'm treating them like they want to build an empire and they really just want $20 extra a week. So I mean, there's a big difference there. So I think to me, it's a question asking situation. Build a relationship and question asking, because
I think,
people usually don't quit my team if we have a good relationship, because they don't want to not be part of the fun or be part of the group.
the group.
It's not necessarily just about the products.
Yeah. And I think that's why I asked you, because I think that was something that would really annoy me was Beachbody for a while. Because Beachbody was really always like, oh, sell them the next challenge pack, sell them the next challenge pack, right? Which I think, yes, don't get me wrong, Shakeology is great. And I mean, Beachbody on Demand is amazing. 1,500 workout program, different, whatever you want to do, muscle building, cardio, yoga, they have it all. And they have some of the best training programs on the market. But what I didn't like was this entire strategy that they go like, invite to challenge. And, this, hi, girl, sorry, doesn't work with me. You see, and it's kind of funny because Kellyanne and I, we both met that way. We were both Beachbody coaches. We both said that was the initial when we created our corporation, Kellyanne and me, was coaching coaches to do it the right way. Because I believe in relationship and asking the genuine questions. And if I think that Shakeology is not the right product for you, I would advise you not to buy it. So it's, yes, I make less money, fair enough. And I'm not even doing Beachbody anymore. I do it myself for my own fitness, but I'm not even an active coach anymore. And I think it was really important for me to being authentic here and serving the customer and serving as well the team members in my team with the right approach to it, because I don't think they throw out these direct selling strategies which are following these I'm sorry to say this pyramid setting, which does not work. I'm sorry, it doesn't work. And it's like the mom was with the 3 toddlers and the business executive that wants to do their fitness. They do have 2 different ambition in their thing. And if I treat them just like the program, follow the program, it's not going to work. And you're going to lose these customers. Actually, you're going to upset the customer eventually because it doesn't work. He might not have this notion of healthy eating. He just doesn't even have the time for healthy eating because that's the way how he is, right? Which is like, this is the funny thing. And, the mom wants to maybe do a run in a day. She doesn't have time to do whatever yoga and all these things. So why would you try to sell the latest challenge pack that came out? One was like the dance pack, which is a new dance program, which you can sell it as a challenge pack combination. But if I'm talking to somebody that has been pumping muscles for the last 10 years, and I'm trying to sell him now the newest dance program of Beachbody, he's going to say, are you out of your mind? Right? You see, it's like this, like, you need to have this relationship, the understanding of your customer and the need of your customer. And unfortunately, with MLM companies, a lot of times they have this setting, which I think is great in the beginning to get your head around what's actually going on and how this is actually going to work. But then you need to find your own way. And I think authenticity is the key in direct sales. And if you are not authentic, not going to work.
You know what's funny? This is like Santa in the Miracle on 34th Street movie, because his store blew up and did fabulous because he listened to what the kids said and then told the mom the best store to buy the toy, even if it wasn't their store. And that made their store do really, really well. This is that. We need to be Santa. We need to serve the customers with what's right for the customer, and it will help the business. It doesn't necessarily mean every single referral that you give is going to be for something that you rep for. And you know what I mean? That's just the way it is. But if you're always service centered, I think, and you know how I sign all my cards to my customers, I say, thank you for allowing me to be your Avon representative, your Avon lady, I say, but that's because I know they have choices too.
Yes.
They could pick anybody, or they could just go down to Rite Aid or whatever it is. You know what I mean? And I think you have to be grateful and service oriented and relationship oriented.
Yeah, and I think that is the key in any business. Not even direct sales. Yeah, she was quiet now. She's waking up. It's like, I think it's with any business you do. If you do not put your customer first and do what they need, you're not treating your customer with the highest respect. And I think that's where Bob is very great. The biggest value is actually yourself, and giving the time to even listen to what the customer has to say. It's like, it drives me insane when you go in a shop and you just start asking for something and they go like, yeah, before you even finish what you wanted, actually they already say, oh, this and this and this and this. And then how many times I say, no, that's not what I'm looking for, right? But I'm actually looking for this and this and this. But you didn't even pay the attention to listen what I actually wanted. And I think it's just a piece of our fast-lived society. It's just all big, has a big flashy images, and we get bombarded with messages on our phone, and everything. You sign into Facebook, you have 6 advertisements already flashing at you, and then they follow you to Google and everywhere, because now with the pixels in the background, they actually follow you around wherever they're going, and you're seeing the same thing. And it's just so annoying, because as a nobody actually really takes the time anymore to actually look, what do you really need.
See, that makes it great for us, because they're all doing that, because it makes it that much more special when you build a relationship. Like, I'm so glad that hardly anybody sends cards anymore, because it makes me look like a superstar. It's like, thank you everybody for not sending cards, because then when I do send a card, they act like it's so unusual, and it's like, awesome.
And it's exactly what it is. That's like one of the biggest moments in my relationship as a customer, where I was a customer, which exactly did that to me, was when I bought something and I had like, oh God, I grew up in the States, but my father being German and working for the German embassy. So Haribo being a German company, right? And when I grew up in the embassy and in the consulate, they always had a big glass of gummy bears. That was like something, like, look, in the 70s, Haribo sent that out to all the outside posts of the German Federation at that time, just so when you come to get a visa or whatever, there was a big glass with little bags of gummy bears inside. So obviously when I came from school home, every time I walked into the offices down there, and I always grabbed one of these bags, gummy bears, because that was just something that I grew up with, right? So I got a package where I bought something, and lovely thank you card for purchasing with them, with this little tiny bag of Haribos in there. And this is like, it just rekindled me right back to my childhood. And ever since, I have bought so many things from that store, because it just, that kept me all the time. And she does it all the time. There's always this little bag of gummy bears, and I'm sometimes more excited about opening the package for the gummy bears than the actual item that I bought. And I think this is what it really makes it. It makes it really, really great, because this is how you put yourself into the mind of people. This
and we can all do those things. We can all do those things, and they're not hard or expensive to do. Like, the matter of fact, I just got an order. One of my buddies sells jewelry, the inexpensive jewelry over here in the Party Clan. And when you order from her, she sends 2 little Tootsie Roll midgets. And I'm telling you, I ripped open the bag looking for it. Where is my 2 little Tootsie Roll? Because and she's special doing that. Not everybody does that. And she ships her stuff right away. Because really, if you're a customer, you want your stuff. And she writes little thank yous on stuff. And she's fast. She puts the bills out when she says. I mean, those are small things that every one of us can do, because customers basically want their stuff. And they want you to be friendly. They want you to be fast. And then you can put thank you with a flourish underneath. You can put a little gummy bear or a little Tootsie Roll in it. I mean, these kind of things are so important, and every one of us can do it, and hardly any of us do.
Yeah, and it's amazing, because when you look at that, it's just like, it reminds me as well, like, I've worked in the airline industry for a while, and like companies like Deutsche Lufthansa, the Germans, I'm very, again, in first class, on every seat, when you come on first class, there's a red rose. It's their signature. And it's they have the amenity kits. The seat is not any better than any other first class airline. The food is pretty much similar in every first class. But this little silly rose that is lying there that makes it every time very special coming on board the aircraft.
That's
You
awesome.
fly with Thai, it's the orchid. Do you know they always give you the orchid to and the one thing, but it's this final touch that makes it special.
Yeah.
And that makes you remember that's what you're going to choose. Next time, who you're going to choose, you will have an awesome experience. They all have delays. I mean, every airline has delays, right? But it's this simple gesture that was just, doesn't cost them anything. Like for Thai orchids, that's where orchids grow. They buy millions of them a day, basically, for all their flights. But it makes them to be remembered.
Did you know I went over to Manchester, England, and spoke at an Avon conference? I did that 2 different times, and they sent me first class. It was, and they probably didn't realize I lived in the trailer park at the time, and they sent a livery driver to pick me up, and I had a hotel room with 2 bathrooms in it. It was so fabulous. Yeah, that was fabulous. I had a lot of fun that time. Both times. I went twice. Both times. It was great. It was great. We went to the Hippodrome. Is that it? And there was a big mall there, and we saw Mary Poppins at the theater.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Just thought I'd throw that in. Sorry.
No, but that's great. But you see that and that's what I talk about a lot as well. What I talked about in my book at the ending of my book. By the way, I'm going to send you the book now in PDF form. I don't want you to buy it yet. As I said to you, I was going to send you a written signature anyway, because unfortunately Anna Mann cannot write the foreword because she's so busy with the Go-Giver marriage now. So she's really apologized. So it's Kathy that's writing the foreword.
Oh, right now. Nice.
But and so I'm have delayed a little bit the release now, but which is okay. You know, it doesn't matter. But I'm talking about exactly that point. It's like, how does it make you feel? You have to not anything else, but how does it make your customer feel, whatever you do? And if you make them feel good, they will remember you. It's always comes down, how did you make them feel? It's not what you have sold, not what you service. It's actually how did they feel about this entire service. And you are the master in these things. I can see that in every day. No, you are. You don't even take credit. And I always love that. And I love the humbleness about it. Yes, you have created an empire for yourself, and that is great. But you're very humble about it. You just still, and you see, I can see your team.
I love it when you talk.
No, I see when I see your team members talking here and making comments, you can see how much love and respect they have for you, because you actually really taking care of them, and you do it in such a humble way. And I think that is so many people that watch it now or later in replay can learn so much from you. It's just set your goal where you want to go and be humble about it and serve others. And I think it's really,
what's funny, I want to tell you, I think the ladies that we've talked to from the messages on here aren't actually on my team.
They are not.
No. And you know why? I hope they don't know that even, because I try to treat everybody like I hope that they would want to be treated. I guess many Avon representatives, I've helped them or sent them stuff or whatever, or interacted with them, aren't necessarily on my team. And I actually am at odds with some of the other top people because they think I shouldn't interact with someone unless they're on my team. And to me, I don't even ask people when they message me. I try to serve them or help solve their problem or whatever it is without asking them. And to me, that's right. to me,
it's so high volume of you actually, and high quality of you, because you look out to help this person. You don't care which team they're. You're not saying, "Oh, you're not in my team. Go to your team leader."
I'm so surprised people are willing to say that. I've heard somebody actually say that. You know what? I mean, it doesn't even make sense, because even from a purely business point of view, I've had people, for example, one of my big team members right now, she actually attended a seminar that I did back in 1993 or something in Michigan. She left Avon and came back a couple times, but when she wanted to join this last time, she thought of me because she talked to me at that seminar all those years ago. So people back then said I shouldn't do the seminars because it's not just my team in the room. I shouldn't be training other people's people. And to me, that never made sense. You know what I mean? So even if you're just business oriented, it makes sense to help anybody. It
And
makes business sense to help anybody.
and Lisa, to be very, very honest, I find it really interesting that you make this point. We're already at the top of the hour. See, the hour went by like this. It's just, to be very honest, they should actually ask themselves why their team member reaches out to you, why they do not feel that they were getting the support from them. So instead of making this comment to you, they could actually ask you, why you think they reached out to me? What am I not doing as a leader
Well,
good
most
enough
of
or
it's
properly enough?
personality fit. So I would hope if another leader fit. I've had that happen. One of my best buddies is Molly Stone Bibb, who is she has a big YouTube channel and stuff. And some of my leaders have a better personality fit with her and have said, I want to do what you're doing. And I don't take that as an affront to me. Sometimes it's a personality fit. So I would hope, like me and Molly, she helps anybody too. Because the people in my circle do that. we do that. But I'm surprised the people that don't. Yeah.
I'm really surprised that way. As I said, but then you should be, as a leader, I think that's where I think being a really good leader, if you would have something like that my team members would go to another leader, I'll maybe ask myself the question, how can I better support them? Or maybe come to you then saying, Lisa, what do you think I can do better for my team members, that they wouldn't feel the need to come to you right now? Because something is, maybe there's a disconnect. And as you said, there's a personality disconnect. And that's okay. But, just as saying, oh, I don't want that you to teach
Well,
them.
you know what
do it
happens
in your best
sometimes.
interest.
Yeah, sometimes too, as you know, you're a bigger prophet in another land, right? So that whole rule. So like this team member that wanted to listen to Molly, she's been on my team probably 15 years. She's heard all of my stuff. So even though Molly's saying the same thing, she's hearing it like from like
Different way.
right in a different way. And to me that's cool too. However she hears the information, that's fine too. So I'm not offended when someone wants to listen to someone else. I think all of us working together, spreading the information is how the job's going to get done anyway. You know what I
And
mean?
that's the
When they
point.
close off, that's when it's not effective. When they say,
That's
"No, I'm only going to help my team members because that's all I'm getting paid to do over here," that's not effective for anybody, including themselves. They just
no.
don't realize it.
And you're putting it really on a nice point there, because honestly, as you said, eventually Avon is going to profit of it, and even the other team leader is going to profit of it because they'll be more successful. So why would I even, well,
Right.
not care, but why would I even say, why would I get offended by it? Because that's what I said, I might come across, and I have that many times, that I have these famous 2-hour initial coaching call. When I come to the end of the call and I say, I'm very sorry, but I don't think I'm the fit for you. However, I have this person or that person that I can refer you to, and I think that will be a way better fit for you. So at the end of the day, I'm on a mission to make this coaching industry as well a bit more how said serious. Now, nowadays everybody thinks as a coach, just and I think
I've noticed
really
that.
exactly, yes, exactly. And I think, like, okay, fine, fair enough. I think we need a bit more. Well, we have the accreditation with the coaching federations, but I think we need a bit more stringent control in what coaching does, because when it goes to life coaching, or especially I do ADHD coaching as well, there it actually touches people's life really severely, and if you don't know what you're doing there, I think there should be more stringent measures in place to actually have the qualifications. But at the end of the day, as I said, there's always other people that are better in other things, right? I'm not good in autism. Somebody comes with me with autism, I do touch it a bit, but I'm not really good. If there's somebody who needs to really, coach for autism, I will refer that, because this is being professional as well. I think that's part of being professional. When you will say, and I think you said it one day, and I thought that really impressed me. When you say that somebody tries to jump on the, was it on the wagon? You said,
Oh,
well, we're on the wagon, on the bus, you should jump on the bus, and he might be actually on the wrong bus, actually. So,
right. Yeah.
so
Yeah, but that I got that from John Gordon. He's actually spoke at the Avon convention. But that's such a good point, though. I mean, there's people, especially in Avon, because the sign up is free. Lots of times they do a promotion. They'll just sign up and they don't necessarily really. So for me to have some big expectation of them is not realistic either. I need to find out if they're even supposed to be on the bus. and at what level, like, the part-time playing around, or I want to build an empire. I mean, I need to ask more questions. If they're standing at the door of the bus, doesn't necessarily mean that they should be on the bus.
do you have the right ticket?
Around, that's fine.
Do you have the right ticket here? Nope.
Well,
Next bus, please.
And I'm not like kicking people off the bus or anything like that, but I mean, you can overwhelm people in a hurry if they just wanted to like go from one stop to another to see how it was going to be, or if they wanted to ride the bus all over the country with you. You can overwhelm people if you assume they want to drive around the country when really they just wanted to go one stop. So I think you have to ask a lot of questions. I think that's the thing I've learned is the questions. Ask more questions.
And that's what I'm going to do. We have a quick question round. That's what we always finish the show. Is normally we started the show is about, but now we have put it to the end. So here comes a quick question. Just whatever you think is the answer, you answer. Pizza or pasta?
Oh, pizza.
Pizza. All right. Morning or night?
Night.
Night. Favorite color?
Blue.
Dog or cat?
Oh no! Don't make me answer that. Don't make me answer that. That's not fair. I might offend somebody here.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got five cats and a dog, so I guess you can go by quantity. Cat.
Famous person that has passed, or historical person that has passed, you would have liked to have coffee with, and why?
Oh, David McConnell, who is the founder of Avon.
Yeah.
The history of the company has always fascinated me. So I would like to know what he thought more than just the writings I've read. I would like to know it from him himself.
All right. Pina colada or Long Island iced tea?
Pina colada.
All right. Paris or London?
Oh, Paris.
Paris. And then book or TV?
Oh, book.
Book.
Yeah, that's easy.
And the final question, Chameleon or Flamingo?
Oh, Chameleon, I think.
Good, fantastic. Okay, Kelly, and she was going to watch it later, and I know Kelly, and yeah, she has to catch up. This is the internal joke that we have in between us. Actually, it's like a little competition because she is the Mingo, basically. She has everything in flamingos. That's how I ended up with all the flamingos in my background. So and I always say I'm the chameleon, and so now I'm actually 3 ahead, Kelly, and it's about time to actually come back here. This is the internal joke. Lisa, it was such a pleasure, and I really, really enjoyed because you have so much wisdom. And as I said, when I said how humble you about your success, which makes it even more fun to listen to you, because you have no grander things. You just say, oh yeah, I have my little Avon business. Well, no, you don't. You have your Avon empire, and which is great. And it's great. And and doing what you do with with every breath you do it with pleasure and really with a go-giver mindset. And I'm so impressed with you, and it has been such a pleasure to have you on this show. Please stay online after the end of the show. You know how it goes. You do it yourself. We just like saying goodbye to everybody. I don't even know who's next week's guest. Look, now she's lying on my lap. She hasn't moved for like the last 20 minutes. She's sleeping. She's on my lap. It was just the initially she didn't want to. Anyway, so you have a great evening, everyone, and I'll see you next week. And it's like it was such a pleasure again to have you on our show.
Thank you.
Thank you. And broadcast.